Okay, so should be following me, right? It is? Cool. All right. Today is day one of a few on parts stuff. If you look over here, we got ourselves some overnight parts from Japan. This is going to be the HKS exhaust, and I'm really curious to see what that looks like. We also have a Radium Engineering clutch fork stop for the Evo. So that's actually, let's talk about that. This is all Evo related content. There's just lots of stuff that I kind of want to get in front of and take care of as far as maintenance and quality of life upgrades on the vehicle. I'm not going for like performance or anything like that right now. It's still too early for me, new for me to really get into that. So there we are. That's the car that we're going to be working with today. I'm going to crawl under the guy and do an oil change. I'm actually a little kind of about lifting the hood because I shut the car off and then popped the hood, and my brain was a little confused for a second because when you shut off an engine but then you're looking in the engine bay and things are still moving, you're like, wait a second, like excuse me, for that just moment where it's just like, no, stuff shouldn't be moving, I shut the engine off. And then my brain realized that there were mice running around. So, super. That's going to be such a good time. I don't know if he's out or not, or where he went. I just hope he's not chewing up wires. Please don't be chewing up wires. All right. Here's what I'm thinking we'll do. Let's go ahead and jack the car up on the front, and I can't get ramps under there, so we're going to go ahead and jack the car up on the front, and we will go ahead and get the oil changed. It's already run for a minute, it's warm. Oh god, a mouse is going to fucking drop down on me. I don't want to do this. Anyway, so we'll get under there, do the oil change, and we'll button it all back up, everything on that end, and then we'll swing it around, back it into the driveway, roll it up on the ramps, and go ahead and tackle the exhaust. I'm not going to bother doing the clutch fork stop until the intake arrives. The intake is from, so everything came in from MA Performance, but the issue is that, and they're very quick about stuff. What I wasn't paying attention to, I think, is that the intakes that I selected is... I didn't notice that it's not out of stock, but it takes a little while before it even ships. So that's probably going to arrive late. But because the clutch fork stop is essentially right under all of the intake stuff, I'm not going to bother with it right away, because I have to, in order to do the clutch fork stop, I have to essentially have to take the intake apart and pull that all out of there, do the clutch fork stop, put it all back together so that I can drive the car around. Only to take it all back apart again to install the intake. So I'm just going to wait till the intake's here, and we'll do both of those at the same time, same day. So let's go ahead and jack the car up and get started on an oil change. Is the HKS Catback exhaust. It's the single exit high power exhaust. I just got the oil change done. I then took it off the jack stands, turned it around, and just rolled up the ramps. There's enough clearance on the front end that I was able to do that, and it gets me high enough off the ground that it should be able to work in that regard. So as I filmed in the prior thing that I'm just going to scrub and delete, we've got this black finish looking pipe, like charcoal finish looking pipe. Looks pretty good. There's no dings or dents or anything in the shipping. We do get, it looks like some heavily taped down mounting hardware. So that's cool. It comes with a couple of bolts, washers, nuts, crush washers, new gaskets, and a donut. So I'm not 100% sure where all of this is going to go, but it should be pretty evident once we get into it. So because of the time constraints that I've got, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the install for this and go from there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kick it back over to a time lapse and get that done. We've got a clip of the exhaust note, just the factory exhaust note, and then we'll swing back around and see what this sounds like when we're done. We're retaining the cat. It's literally just a Catback. Just wanted a little bit of a deeper sound. So let's get started. Obviously the scenery is different now, the shot angle, everything's different. So I was taking a look at the footage, getting ready to put everything together, trimming stuff out, and I realized that there's kind of a harsh transition from the time frame that it said, hey, here is what the stock exhaust note sounds like, here's the actual install, well, what's next? And then it sort of just jumps. I didn't have any material. So essentially what this is this is going to act as a placeholder to say, hey, the install went mostly fine. Definitely install, I think, the way that the order that I went on was uninstalling everything, do that, you know, at whatever order you wish to do. Honestly, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 4 bolts, and no, it's not, it's 5 bolts, and 3 donuts. 5 bolts, 3 donuts. So anyway, got those off, got the new exhaust on, did the muffler first, then followed by the pipe, and then did the pipe to the muffler side first, and then the cat side second. And it was fairly quick. It was actually very quick. Of note though, however, you would have noticed, and I said that I was just going to roll it up onto the ramps, and I did so, but turns out that is not sufficient. It does allow you to get to the muffler side of it, but it does not allow you to get to the cat side of it. I did have to jack the front of the car back up in order to be able to physically fit under the car to the cat side to get the 2 bolts there. Anyway, once that's all said and done, as I said, hang the muffler. It all makes sense once you get into it. 2 gaskets, put your bolts back on. 2 of the bolts are reused, and 2 of the bolts are new. And other than that, you're all set. So without further ado, I guess, this is the sound of what the exhaust sounds like with the silencer that comes with it. It's actually pre-installed. This is what it sounds like with the silencer installed here. Okay, so that was what it sounds like with the silencer installed, and next up we have what it sounds like with the silencer pulled out. There are just two little screws with some washers, crush washer, and nuts on the side of the tip, the muffler tip, which it's the same thing that allows you to take the titanium look burnt tip off. It's the same one. Once you pull the screws out, you're able to just simply pull the silencer out. It comes out really easy, brand new. If you leave it in and then try to pull it out later, there might be like carbon deposit or buildup or something that makes it a little rougher. But right now, brand new, super, super easy. And then put the screws back in and the washer and crush washers if you're going to put the little slip cover over it again. Or even if you're not, I would probably think maybe put the screws in just simply to fill the holes. I don't know. It's all aesthetic beyond the point of the silencer. So this is what it sounds like with the silencer not installed. Okay, so that kind of wraps up what we were doing today. That was the oil change for the car. That's 4.3 quarts of 5W30, and then a filter, and then the HKS single exit exhaust, single exit high, or HKS high power single exit exhaust. That's 5 volts, 2 exhaust hangers, 2 gaskets, and it's all done. Takes about a half an hour or so for the exhaust, maybe the same amount of time for the oil, simply because of the drain time. So anyway, of note, the oil, you can just get the front end up, you're good to go. The rear, you got to definitely get up to do the muffler. I thought that I would just be able to roll it backwards up the ramps for the muffler. That's not the case. I needed to get all 4 corners up, simply because to reach the pipe all the way through, where it connects up to the cat, front end's got to be able to be up in order to get up that far. My body just physically doesn't fit there. So anyway, all said and done, a little over an hour. You could probably rush it and go quicker, but yeah, not hard at all. That's part 1 of sort of our upgrade path on what we wanted to do. So again, we went from a completely factory stock Evo minus the suspension as purchased. It had D2. I don't remember who makes them. There's some type of coilovers that are on there. Other than that, completely stock. We've got some shifter related stuff. We've got intake related stuff. The exhaust related, and an oil change. So we'll see what else happens along the way. But that's what we got for part 1. We'll see you for part 2 of the Evo reliability and quality of life upgrades. All right, take care.